Happy Wednesday, everybody. So I had to come back on. I saw that the volume on my live on the way home went out. I think when I was trying to take my GPS off and knock the volume out. So I wanted to come back on real quick and just do a very fast live. I'm exhausted for one. But justice never sleeps. So I wanted to first thank Markeisha Jackson with Wavy News 10 for taking the time out to support Prisoners' Rights Clinic push to get Anthony Stewart's pardon granted. You have seen Sean Stewart, Anthony Stewart's brother, Hassan Shabazz, our executive director, really advocate for the past few years to get Anthony Stewart, who's currently incarcerated at Greensville Correctional Facility, released from prison. Anthony Stewart's story is just so sad. It was even hard to really listen to. As I listened to Hassan and Anthony Stewart, and Sean speak about it when they interviewed with Markeisha Jackson. But Anthony Stewart was hit by a vehicle when he was around age 13. And from that incident, he sustained a very traumatic brain injury that actually caused him to, he has difficulty in remembering. He has difficulty in comprehending. He's just, since that issue, has suffered quite a bit of trauma to his brain. And it's irreversible. And so Sean has been pushing since his brother was convicted. And what really bothers me, guys, he was convicted of 3 grams of cocaine, which is a very small amount. He's sentenced to about 40 years. They suspended the majority of it for him to serve 22 years. We're talking about a very small amount of drugs that they say that was found on him. But they gave him 40 years to serve 22 years to a person that, after many testing, is actually found to not be competent to even understand. But they were able to find the same, get the same person that I believe his name was Scott Bender. But the same person that said that he was not competent came back and said he was competent, then came back and sentenced and said he wasn't. But he still ended up being sentenced to complete 22 years. And since he's been in jail, he's had end-stage renal disease, which is failing of the kidneys. And it continues to get worse because what we have to understand is prison is not a place that could treat mental illnesses. It cannot treat any type of diseases. It just doesn't have the capacity. They don't have the compassion and the security level, just a lot of things that prevent them from adequately treating somebody. And so his illness continued to get worse, where Anthony needs a kidney. The prison has denied him a kidney transplant. He can't, they said that they're not going to allow him to get the kidney transplant. And so Hassan and Sean have been really pushing as they filed a conditional pardon that has been pending since Youngkin was in office to be granted. It's still yet to be granted, and he has gotten significantly worse. And so I reached out to Markeisha Jackson, a Wavy News 10, a few days ago. I've been talking to her on and off about this case, but I told her, I said, we need to do something. We need to do something fast. He should have been out yesterday. And she was so gracious enough to do the interview today with Hassan and Sean, which is a really good interview. It's going to be airing tonight. She moved so quickly as it's going to be aired tonight. And she did the interview because there needs to be a press for the governor to grant this pardon immediately. this is what I tell people, and I can't stay online because I'm very tired. I'm very tired. When we vote people in office, and this particular governor received 90% of the black vote. So we're not asking the governor to do a favor or do something out of the ordinary. We're asking her to correct the injustice. Anthony Stewart should have never been in prison. He's not competent to be in prison. And 22 years of this is excessive, and he's extremely sick. And so I think that politicians have a duty, you know, as quick as they tell us to donate, as quick as they tell us to go to the polls and vote, there should never be a time when we understand that there's a situation such as Anthony Stewart is very dire, that the process is going so slow. I understand there's a process, but we gotta also remember compassion and being human. He's in a very bad condition, and prison is just not a place for him to be going through that. He meets every qualification that's needed to be granted a pardon. For one, this is a non-violent crime. He was sentenced as if it was violent, but it's a non-violent crime. And he should have never been there. He has received, his brother has worked, Sean Stewart has worked very hard to get everything needed. Like there's nothing else needed. Even the rector who is over the person that said he was competent said that the person that said he was competent was incorrect, and sent a letter to the Secretary of Commonwealth and then to the investigator as well. And so there needs to be a quicker push. The same way that we do a quicker push to meet those poll deadlines, a quicker push when we donate to help your campaign, to fulfill things that are just the right thing to do. And so Prison Rights Clinic, we are calling on the public to press the Secretary of Commonwealth, Ms. Mondon King, to sign this pardon immediately. You know, I don't know how bad they wanted it to get for urgency of a signature, but it should have been signed yesterday. And so I'm asking every religious organization, the churches, the Nation of Islam, I don't care what, religious background you are, to stand in solidarity with Sean Stewart. One thing that I said to Markeisha, and when I say this, I'm just saying this from being in this field. It's very rare you see a brother, a male figure, really fight for the family. It's primarily like the female person, like the mom, the girlfriend, the wife. But Sean has worked extremely hard, without a break, to push for the release of his brother. And just to really hear him speak about them growing up, how close they were, they 2 years apart, the accident, what happened, how it affected him, how he saw it affect his brother. I can't imagine how he feels right now to watch his brother go through being incarcerated and fighting an illness and not being mentally competent to even all the way understand what's going on and not remembering sometimes. And he's very limited in what he can do. And so I just want to call up on everybody that see this video to support Sean Stewart in getting his brother pardon granted immediately. It takes 2 seconds to pull up your email, because we got email now, and write an email and overflow and overwhelm. Call your governor, call the Secretary of Commonwealth, and ask them to sign that pardon today. Because we want to see Anthony Stewart free. The news story it's going to go on tonight at 10 o'clock. I'm very grateful to Markeisha to move so quickly. Typically it takes, a few weeks, maybe even a couple months, but she did the interview today with Sean and Hassan, and then she's going to do the story tonight at 10. And so only thing Sean needs at this point is the support of the people. The power is in the people. Sometimes we as a people, we have to show ourselves, because as Sean said, Anthony is the poster. He's the poster child. He's the example of where we start to say a prison sentence is not a death sentence. And so we have the power to do that when we pick up the phone and we send an email and say, Madam Governor Spanberger, I need you to sign this pardon immediately and free Anthony Stewart. And so support. Tune in to the news coverage tonight at 10. Go to, we're going to post in the comments. Tony has a page that Sean created with the documentary on it, where you can sign a petition, where it just gives you everything to do, which is sign a petition. And the biggest thing is call the governor, email the governor, email the Secretary of Commonwealth, Ms. London King, and ask them to sign that pardon immediately. And so I just wanted to come on a few minutes and say that. We thank everybody for their support for Prisoners' Rights Clinic and all the work that we're doing. We're appreciative to everyone for supporting Anthony Stewart and continue to support, because I believe in my heart Anthony Stewart's going to get out of prison. But we have the power as the people to make sure that it happens, like now, like today. All right, guys, happy Wednesday to you.